Hello from a very, very breezy Leicester Square here in London. Now today's video, possibly going to be a bit controversial. Behind me here is Jamie's Italian, just opened up here in London once again. It's been about 7 years since the Jamie's Italian chain collapsed here in the UK. I understand it's still been going around the world in various places, but yeah, from a sort of peak of about 40 restaurants here in the UK in the mid-noughties, towards the end of the decade, I think it's 2019, the whole lot went up in smoke. Blimey. There's a restaurant blowing away behind me. That's how windy it is here. Good Lord. Anyway, yes. Just like their marquee thing is collapsing, Jamie's Italian collapsed and left suppliers and staff in the hole to the tune of about £83 million, supposedly. That's a lot of money, isn't it? That is a lot of money. It's taken him 7 or 8 years to have, well, maybe the cojones to open again here in the UK using that same brand name. It's a bold move, given the publicity there was around the closure of the old place. But we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I've said my piece on that. We're going to get inside and review it for what it is. Apparently, it's kind of like casual Italian. Now, it's on a little road called Irving Street, which is just one of the routes into Leicester Square. And around me, I can see 5 other Italian restaurants. So I'm not sure you can say this area isn't oversaturated with Italians. But we'll get inside and find out what it's all about, shall we? Come on, folks. So I've come in, been greeted by some of the friendliest staff I've ever encountered in London, that's for sure. And got myself a seat. Now, it's not busy in here at this point. I did book in for the very second that they open at midday, and this is only the second day that they've been open. Yesterday, I was checking their social media. Before opening, there was a queue down the street, and I was a bit worried it was going to be really busy, but for now, pretty calm, pretty calm. So, the restaurant design is very, very nice. Pictures on the wall everywhere. Typical celebrity chef thing. I've noticed this with Gordon, I've noticed this with Marco Pierre White. They do like the sight of their own face, that's for sure. There are so many pictures of Jamie Oliver. Mostly kind of relaxed, not very staged ones. There's ones with him cooking with Gennaro Contaldo, there's something with his wife. They're just sort of like casual family photos, a lot of them. Which I think is, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, overall, design of the restaurant, really rather nice. Let's think about the menus here. So we've got a drinks menu here first, which has got all sorts of cocktails, wines, beers, ciders, all that sort of stuff. Reasonable range of house wines too, and not particularly expensively, I don't think. The menu. Now this kind of hints at the fact it's kind of like a casual Italian dining experience. I suppose it is supposed to be competing with some of these chains that are dotted around outside here, but hopefully all these things are going to be done in-house rather than made in a factory somewhere and shipped in. So you've got some starters here. Interesting looking things, but nothing kind of mind-blowing. Some antipasti too. A range of, about half a dozen pizzas, similar pasta dishes too, and then some, what they call in secondi, the main courses, with steak, some chicken, a pork milanese, that kind of thing. A reasonable range of options, not too many veggie options, definitely not too many vegan options that I can see here. Yeah, maybe they've got a separate menu for all that sort of stuff, but I wasn't offered one, so maybe not. I'd certainly like a glass of the house white, please.
Yes. Small or large?
Just a small one.
Yeah.
It's a little early. Don't want to get too drunk at lunchtime. And can you just confirm, like, with all the sauces and everything,
Yeah.
it's all made here, presumably,
Everything's made
made
here.
in the
There's
building. Yeah.
nothing that we kind of open from a can.
Right, that's
Apart from
good to know.
tomato.
Well, yes. Well, I'd certainly like to try the ravioli fritti
Yeah.
as a starter, please.
Great.
That would be great. And if it's being made in-house,
Yeah.
the carbonara. It's one of the things I find most disappointing when you go out to Italian restaurants, because no one makes it properly.
This is, yeah, so the carbonara is lovely. I don't know if you've ever tried the Bucatini pasta itself.
Yeah.
It's thicker than...
Yes. Yeah. So it should
It's really lovely.
get
And
nicely coated in the sauce and
yes, guanciale is the
cheek.
the
Yeah. So that is perfect. So here we go, folks. First course has arrived. We have the ravioli fritti. All kind of fried raviolis here. On the menu it says whipped ricotta, which I'm assuming is what they are filled with. We've got the parmesan, a bit of paprika over the top of there by the looks of it, and an arrabbiata dip here, which is served hot Arrabbiata, of course, is that tomato sauce with chili in. Apparently, little useless snippet of information here. Arrabbiata in Italian means angry because of the chili in there. Kind of it's an angry sauce. We've got some lemon here too. So let's give that a little squeeze over the top. Oh, first thing I do is get a blooming pip. Go into me ravioli. In fact, there's a lot of pips. A lot of restaurants nowadays will serve their lemons in that little muslin kind of sheath to avoid this problem, because you don't want to be chomping down on lemon pips. I've lost one somewhere, so we'll see how that goes. Do you know what I'm going to do? I think it's kind of more like finger food, isn't it, than something I'm going to need to eat with my knife and fork. So I think it's a decent portion. This has cost, was it £10? Yeah. £10 on the menu, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Bit of a random portion size, but okay. We're going to go in as it's supposed to be done. I like that. There's a crisp to the ravioli, but it's pretty much only round these edges. The inside where you've got the ricotta must have kept it sort of steamed a little bit, and so that's kept the outer coating of it there a little softer. But that works quite nicely. It gives you a little contrast. Let me see if I can break into one, and we'll have to take a little look inside. There's not a huge amount of filling, I don't think. But maybe you can see here. I'll hold up against my green jumper. You can see the white there of the ricotta filling. Got a nice little cheesy taste, because obviously you've got the parmesan over the top of it too. A little background hit of spice from that paprika, but it just amplifies everything when you knock it into this arrabbiata. You know what? I mean, I'm looking out onto basically the awning of another Italian restaurant here. But with my little glass of Italian white here, and this little plate of fried ravioli. Oh, I could just be sat looking out over the Mediterranean. Wouldn't that be nice? Or the Adriatic? Yeah, probably the Adriatic. I don't know, which side of the coast do these little things come from? I really don't know. Either of them would be nice, to be honest with you. Better than windy old London. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy these. I'm going to enjoy that. And then we'll come back when my carbonara is here. Looking forward to that. So here we go, folks. We have the Bucatini carbonara here. Bucatini obviously is a slightly thicker pasta than you get with, like, you know, spaghetti or whatever, linguine. It should have a nice bite to it. This is going to be fresh pasta, I hope. Made on site. The sauce made on site. We've got the guanciale in there, the proper stuff. The pig's cheek. Plenty of parmesan and black pepper over the top of it there. I was in fact offered more parmesan to go on it. I think what I've got here on the portion is probably going to be adequate. Now, of course, the big question is, how do you eat your pasta like this? I've been criticised before because I twirled it up and ate it off a spoon. Apparently, that is not the done thing. So, who knows? I'm just going to attack it and eat it, and you lot will tell me off if I do it wrong, won't you? Now, portion-wise, I don't think it's bad. I think normally in Italy, pasta is kind of almost like a starter, isn't it, really? Yes, that little thing that sort of fills you up so that the main course, which will be the meat dish, doesn't have to be quite so large. But I'm having this as my main, and I think for a lunchtime, it's a fair portion for a main, definitely. So, let's get into this. A nice amount of sauce on there. You can see plenty of black pepper running through it. And the guanciale, I'm going to say, there's a good portion of that too. The pasta does still have a very nice bite. Just cooked, a little bit al dente. The sauce has kind of sunk down to the bottom of the plate a little bit, but that's fine. As you can just sort of mop around in there. It's quite thick. I say, really nicely flavoured with the black pepper. And the guanciale is really crispy. I think that is very, very tasty. So if I could pick some more of that sauce off from the bottom, mix it all in a little bit, that will be helpful. Everything's getting a nice coating with this glossy sauce, which has a good flavour. I think the star of it, though, is actually the pasta itself and the guanciale. They've crisped that up beautifully. Gives it a really nice, intense flavour.
So, okay, is that?
Not crispy so much that it's going to break your teeth or anything. It's still soft in the middle, but it's really intensified that flavour. So we're starting to fizzy up a little bit more now, by the looks of it. I've got someone coming sat at the table next to me, people sitting at the table behind me. So, I mean, where are we time-wise now? 1:45, so I guess people are coming in off the street, looking for their lunch now, rather than like me getting in here dead on the dot of midday. The wine actually works very nicely with this. It's got a little bit of acidity in there, a little bit of mineral, and that's cutting through some of the richness, because this is a rich dish. There's no doubt about that. I've had a lot of disappointing carbonaras. You get in most chain restaurants, and you can tell it's just been sent in a little kind of bag that you either microwave or chuck in a pan full of boiling water just to heat up. Not this, though. Very nice, thank you. And I've got to say, the staff have been very, very attentive. Not in your face. And it's, it's kind of a difficult balancing act when you're a new restaurant, getting that service element right isn't easy. Okay, it helps that it's not ram-packed, but just to get that kind of nice vibe going, as people are starting to find their feet in their roles, I think it's good. And like I say, I think this portion is fine. Definitely enough to fill you up over lunchtime, but not so much that I'm not going to have a pudding. I say, I'm fairly impressed so far all round, to be honest with you. Nice light starter, slightly heavier, richer pasta course. I'm seeing people being looked after in the restaurant. Everyone's getting really nice service. And it seems like, no one's had any complaints so far, which is good to see with a new venture. There's always little wrinkles they need to iron out, isn't there? One little thing I did have to do as I was making my way through that carbonara was add a little bit more pepper, but there was some on the table. That's just personal taste. I like it quite peppery. Yeah, overall, impressed so far. Let's have a little look at the dessert menu. So here we go, folks. It's dessert menu time. Take a little look at these options and let me know which one you think I should be trying. Put it in the comments down below. There's a couple of early favourites for me. So, did you guess which one I was going to go for? There was a toss-up for me between the tiramisu and this. The Amalfi lemon cheesecake. I didn't expect it to come like this, though. So we have the cheesecake base, then the cheese, then meringue on the top. So it's like a lemon meringue cheesecake. You can see there the meringue there has been torched. You get a little bit of a little more flavour, a little bit of texture. And I'm going to say that's one of the biggest pieces of cheesecake I've ever seen in my life. Now, you guys know there is a particular cheesecake place of which I am very fond down in Dorset. Very, very hard to beat the cheesecake at my mate Jim's. How is Jamie going to do today? We shall see. There's some raspberry kind of coulis just drizzled over the top, but not very much of it. So, could probably have done a little bit more or some more on the plate to dip into, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. Cut through very easily, suggesting it's not too dense. And it isn't dense at all. The biscuit base is quite thin and reasonably soft. Not too crispy. Really nice consistency to that. Buttery. Then you've got the meringue here, which is like a cloud. A beautiful, sugary cloud. Literally, I put it in my mouth and it just went poof and disappeared. And let's just try the cheesecake here without the meringue as well. Let's see how that is. It's not bad. It's got that a similar kind of thing to how Jim does it, where it's quite light and airy almost mousse-like. And I like that rather than a sort of thick, cloying cheesecake. Most of the lemon flavour is coming from some lemon zest that's gone over the top of that meringue. Let's try a bit here with this raspberry sauce. Adds a nice little zing, but also a sweetness. Lemon and raspberry, I think, is a perfect combination. And there's lemon in this little sauce that you can just about see on the plate there, hopefully. I tell you what, I mean, Jim, you haven't got to be worried. I don't think it's as good as your cheesecakes. But in terms of cheesecakes I've had out and about in restaurants, it's pretty darn good. £9 for this. Well, I think most places you go to, desserts are going to be £8, £9, aren't they? For a big portion like this, of something that actually has some pretty good quality to it, I think that's all right. So I've come outside now, paid my bill. I tell you what, it's still blooming windy here in London. I don't know what's going on. It's insane. So Jamie's Italian. Now I know a lot of you will have your own opinions on whether he should be opening up another place called Jamie's Italian after the fiasco around the closure of the last one. You know, but I'm not judging it on that. Like I said, I've commented on it. I have my own thoughts on it, but we're talking about the new place as it stands. What did I have? The ravioli fritti were £10, the Bucatini carbonara 17, the lemon cheesecake £9, and the wine £6 for a glass. Only a 125ml, but I mean, in London, to get a glass of wine for £6 isn't bad. So overall, £42. There is a service charge of 12.5%. You expect that in London, don't you? That's £5.25, so a total of £47.25 for a pretty decent 3-course lunch, I think. I liked it. There are one or two things that they definitely need to kind of iron out as they're going along. A couple of little servicey things. Like I say, my servers were really, really nice, really, really friendly. But, you know, I didn't have a spoon for the dessert. The cutlery for the main took a little while to come. They'll get those things sorted as they get their feet under the table. Main thing is the food, obviously, at this point. And I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I think the little ravioli fritti were tasty. Nice kind of little sharing starter, if you like. I think if you've got some of those, with some arancini or something like that, to share between the two of you, quite nice. A little bit of communal eating going on. It's not, maybe not the sort of starter you keep to yourself, you know. The carbonara, enjoyable. The sauce, rich. Possibly could have been just a touch looser, but, you know, really good flavour, nice intensity in there. The pasta was well cooked. The guanciale was well cooked. Enjoyed it. And the lemon cheesecake, yeah, not as good as Jim's. Nothing is. But good, you know, fairly light. The meringue on the top made it feel even lighter. The lemon from the zest on the top of there, it was enjoyable. It was. Is there anything in amongst it that makes me go, wow, that's the best I've ever had? Probably not. But it was solid, decent, and much better than if you're going to one of these sort of disappointing chain restaurants that are dotted all around this area. If you're in this part of town and you want some Italian food, it's a good option, I think. I don't think it's going to cost you much more, if any more, than all the other ones around here. So, yeah, I think it's worth a try. What am I going to score it? I would say, based on how it is right now and exactly the experience I had today, I'm going to say that's probably about a sort of 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It's good. I think once they've ironed out those couple of little kinks in there, with the, you know, making sure that all the cutlery's ready and all that sort of stuff, and everyone's getting served at the same times, I think you'll be looking at a sort of 8, 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Really did. Right. That's going to be it from me, because I need to get in somewhere where it's not blowing a gale. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to click a thumbs up on there for me. Ding your bell for notifications. Take a look around the vault. Subscribe to that channel. All that sort of stuff I always ask you to do. And don't forget, hype. Hype the thing. If you're on a mobile device, doesn't cost you anything. Nor does subscribing. All free. Why not, eh? Right. Where are you going to find me next? Somewhere indoors. It's definitely somewhere indoors. I'll catch you next time, folks. Bye for now.